Hello, this is Coach Alyssa here.
And Coach Ashley. We're here now for nutrition coaching number 4.
Woohoo! So today's video is all about bugs. Hopefully that piques your interest just a little bit. But what I mean by bugs is that bacteria in your system, the good bacteria, the bacteria that lives in our gut specifically, all right? So, yeah.
Ooh, cool fact.
Cool fact.
We have more bacterial cells in our body than human cells. We should be called
That's
bacteria,
crazy.
not humans. No.
Right? We're bacteria. We're like bacteria factories.
Yes. And these bacteria are vital to our health. They support our well-being. They do everything for us, and they are our fighters, our little fighters. Let's differentiate a little bit between, what we know some terms. There's prebiotic, probiotic. What's the difference? And do we need both?
The prebiotic, just to make it super simple, is the food that the probiotic needs. So it's two separate things. So you can put probiotics in your body and they die off very quickly. So the prebiotics support them in staying really healthy and really strong so that they can really combat that. And the probiotics are the actual bacteria that's munching away at the prebiotics.
Yes. Nice. Good to know. You want both.
Yes.
Because like you said, you want those probiotics prevalent in your body, but they've also got to be strong with that prebiotic.
Yes.
And so how do we get them strong? What are those sources to make them so strong?
Healthy plant fibers.
Yes.
Fruits.
Foods, right? Yes.
Veggies.
Healthy foods,
Whole
veggies,
grains.
whole grains.
Does this sound familiar?
Fiber.
Whole foods.
Whole foods, yes. It comes back to whole foods every time, doesn't it? Our fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. That's what it comes down to. If we're eating those regularly, we're fueling our body with the right things that it needs. And really, when you're getting those things regularly, you're going to be getting the right sources too. So you're not just getting one minute part of the big picture, right? We want the big picture. So get those fruits, vegetables, whole grains. And why is it important for having a strong gut health, gut bacteria?
So it actually excretes antibodies into our intestinal lining. So massive amounts. Like just imagine a jet plane and all of the stuff that comes out of the back. Yes. Like imagine that is our gut bacteria, the probiotics. And also it blocks from the harmful bacteria like toxins, particles that we encounter daily. Yes. Because, we don't sanitize our food, and nor do we want to. Because if we did sanitize our food daily and get everything off, we actually said earlier, we would be the most frail creatures ever. Yes. So we actually need some of that harmful bacteria, toxins, all those things to make our body strong. But we also need those bacteria to help counteract that. Yeah, yes. The good bacteria.
The good fighters.
Yes.
What are some ways to damage our gut bacteria, Alyssa?
Yeah, and specifically with foods, because we talked about toxins and those kinds of things, but specifically with food, and you guys have heard us say this before, sugar, and saturated fatty acids, which actually you find in a lot of different processed foods. Also, meats that are preserved, it's really high in that as well. And there's a lot of other things. So this actually raises the inflammation, and maybe on a short-term basis, like if you have one meal, it's okay. But after a while, it builds up and it really does some damage to your intestines, your lining, your gut, all of that stuff. So, and that inflammation is kind of difficult to get down. So you don't want to go too far into that inflammation because all those little guts are really sensitive in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if the intestines stay inflamed like that for so long, they start, the little cilia that's trying to grab all the nutrients, all those good bacteria that are trying to thrive in there, they just start to die off, and then we get leaky gut syndrome, and it just starts to do some crazy things for our body. So that inflammation in the gut is so important to get rid of. We need our gut to be thriving and absorbing. Right?
And it's one of the questions we ask on your first questionnaire when we sit down with you guys for nutrition consults is, what does your digestion look like? And that specifically gears back towards that gut health.
Yes.
Yeah.
So some of the sources for probiotics, now that we're getting all those great prebiotics in our body. Now let's give our body those probiotics with kefir, yogurts, sauerkrauts, fermented foods. We've heard this before too.
Yeah. What? We heard it before.
Yay! So let's keep looking for those fermented onions, fermented cabbage, sauerkraut. What else? Fermented dairy and vegetables. So good. Kimchi, really awesome and very popular. Now, if you guys don't like those foods, I mean, it takes a while sometimes to get used to them. I would say try it and keep trying it until eventually you get the taste for it, if you don't already. But if you don't and you're still needing those probiotics now, you can get a supplement, right?
Yeah. But the things that you want to watch out for, and this goes back to our last video as well with regular supplementation, is that you need to make sure that it's a really great quality, okay? So a lot of the products that are on the shelf that say probiotics on them, they're not great. They're not living. So you'll want to look for the living probiotics, and there's some that are encapsulated in a really great vegetarian encapsulation. And if you really want to have like the great stuff, go to the refrigeration section. So this is in Sprouts, Natural Grocers, Whole Foods. They all have a refrigeration section for their probiotics and other things that need to be kept alive. And the things that you want to look for is our colony forming units, right?
Yes,
CFUs. I always forget that. And what you're looking for is in between 15 to 100 billion CFUs with at least 10 to 30 strains. Now, Ashley, why are the strains so important?
Because if you're only getting 2 strains, your body might have those 2 strains. Those are usually the most common ones, right? It's probably the 15th one that your body doesn't have, that you need that well-rounded strain of bacteria. We definitely, if we have more bacterial cells in our body than human cells, it's definitely not out of 2 strains, right?
No.
We need that big variety of bacteria to really get all those fighters everywhere. You gotta look for those multiple strains.
And each strain kind of does something a little bit different. And that's why it's also so important, is because like when you get strain 13 or 14, it may do something completely different that your body really needs. And so whatever you have going on with your body, those strains, if it's within the 15 or the 10 to 30 range, you'll generally hit a lot of the things that your body may be needing. So pretty cool.
You'll find those higher CFUs, the higher strains are in those refrigerated sections, like you said. Those are the more high quality ones that are live. They're keeping them live for you so that when they hit your body, they're actually gonna do some work. So cool.
And then also you wanna look for that third-party testing. There's actually a label. Do your research. Look for that third-party tested from NSF or GMP. And that usually tells you that it's a really great product too.
Yes, you'll have that stamp of approval that it's been third-party tested, and that way you're more guaranteed to get those actual numbers that the bottle says, right?
Yeah.
So yes, third-party testing is very important.
Yes.
And so as a recap, we want good, healthy gut bacteria. That's probiotics. We want to fuel them and make them strong with prebiotics, and you want your really great sources from yogurt,
yes.
kefir, kimchi, fermented foods, and you want to stay away from the 2 big things:
sugar and fatty acids.
Yes. So that will ensure you've got a great functioning digestion system, which also means a high functioning immune system.
Exactly. Flushing out all those toxins, flushing out all the things that your body doesn't need, so that you have a nice clean inside and you're able to really live huge and healthy.
Nice.
All right.
Thanks for listening, guys.
See you next time.
I'll see you next time.